This is one of those studies where the conclusion of the research paper is basically a few pages long essay where researchers are discussing potential limitations and flaws within the methodological setup. The duration of the research was only 6 weeks. They only had 15 subjects and they only took biopsies from one muscle, well, muscle head if you're going to be precise, vastus lateralis. Also, during the duration of the trial, all 15 subjects performed both high volume and high load training just with different legs. Although they found slight increase in vastus lateralis size on high volume leg compared to high load leg, that increase in size was observed primarily through increase of non-contractile tissue, non-contractile components, something you people like to call sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. No difference in actual contractile tissue size was found. One thing that was painfully obvious, especially by the end of the trial, is that the high volume side actually accumulated a lot more total training volume compared to the high load side. So if they actually measure the volume between the sides, chances are there would be no difference in non-contractile component size increase. And interestingly enough, despite significantly lower volume, high load leg performed significantly better in terms of strength by the end of the trial. Muscle protein synthesis rate was slightly higher on high volume leg, but at the same time they didn't measure muscle protein breakdown rate. And from previous studies, we know for a fact higher volumes tend to lead to increased rates of muscle protein breakdown. In most cases, that would mean that overall net protein balance would be greater with less volume. In this particular case, that would mean that overall net protein balance was most likely greater in high load leg. As a matter of fact, even researchers conducting this study came to this exact conclusion. Oh yeah, and there was virtually no difference found in biochemical signaling or markers, biochemical hypertrophy precursors. As a matter of fact, most of them weren't even measured. To spare you a further recap, what does this all mean? It means this particular study has the list of limitations and methodological flaws longer than my arm, and it should be taken with a grain of salt. This study simply found what we already knew from previous studies and the ones which came after it. Higher training volumes usually lead to increased levels of localized fluid retention, but not necessarily the increased growth rate of the contractile tissue. I'll just drop the source, the link to the study in the caption so everyone can come to their own conclusion, but you always have to look at a bigger picture. One study by itself doesn't mean anything, especially one as methodologically flawed as this one is.